So I started playing Elden Ring kind of as a joke. Like, can somebody who is really bad at video games actually beat a Souls-like? That was the idea. Stream it weekly, give it my all, and probably fail tremendously. See, I tried Souls-likes before, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Lies of P, and I'd failed miserably at every single one. I couldn't beat a single boss. And as somebody who picks easy mode on every single game I play, it was kind of crazy to think that From Software doesn't even have that as an option. It felt kind of pretentious, almost. Like, oh, it's hard for the sake of being hard, I guess I just won't play the game. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't one of those people who were saying, this game should be easier so that I can play it. It was more of a, damn, it kind of sucks that this game is so hard because it looks awesome, but I'm just not good enough to play it. I guess it's not for me. And part of me didn't see the appeal either, spending hours getting slapped around by the same boss over and over when I only have a few hours a week to game. Hold on, we're all getting worked up. All of us, including you guys. We're all getting worked up. And we're not focusing. We're not focusing on this. I usually want something that I can just dip into, pick up the story, and get out. I don't want to have homework. And I've never been a patient gamer. I'm not great at difficult puzzles, and I'm not great at difficult combat. So you can imagine Elden Ring is not really in my wheelhouse of things that I would be good at. But that was kind of the whole point of the challenge. I wanted to see if I could buckle down and get better. Elden Ring was just kind of supposed to be brutally hard, something that I could slam my head up against over and over again on stream for laughs. And yeah, week one kind of confirmed my thoughts. He's the one. He's the one being... He's getting mad at me. But he's the one being a fucking bitch. I went straight to Margit way too early and just bashed my head at the wall over and over again. Hundreds of tries. Just pain. Margit was kind of everything I expected from a Souls boss. He was big, he was fast, he was mean, he was taunting me the whole time. It was almost like he was designed specifically to make me feel small, and he did that. But somehow, against all odds, and even my own assumptions, I eventually beat him, and it felt unreal. Fuck yeah.
I shall remember thee, tarnished, smoldering with thy meager flame.
That's what we're talking about, baby. That's what we're talking about. Let's go. Let's go. The fact that Margit thought that he could take me down. That's what's crazy. It's the fact that Margit saw me enter into his domain with the spite in my eyes and the hell fury in my veins, and he saw me and he said, this guy's going down. And he said, this guy, me, Bishop, is going down. No. Nope, not today, baby. Not today. For someone like me who had never beaten a Souls boss before, it was like a full body adrenaline rush. Something I never felt from a video game before. Still, at that point though, Elden Ring was just a hard game. Beat boss, feel proud, move on. So the next week, I went straight for the next boss, Godrick. Keep in mind, at this point, I didn't even know who Godrick was. I was still buzzing from the victory of defeating Margit, so I arrive at Stormveil Gate, and I'm feeling basically unstoppable, bloodthirsty, and reckless. So when the gatekeeper tells me about this possibly safer way around the side, I don't even think about it. I tell him to open the main gate. I'm going straight for the boss, buddy. And when the ballista started firing, I realized I had probably made a mistake. Okay, there's the fucking baristas. You son of a bitch. But I didn't care. I sprinted through anyway, dodging cannon fire and flaming arrows and spears and swords, headlong straight to the center of the castle. And because I still wasn't sold on the heart of Souls games, I was not here to explore. I was strictly here to accomplish a mission, and that was to bash God's head in with a giant club. I could tell Stormveil was brutal and huge and way above my pay grade, but I barely took any of it in. I was just weaving through monsters and knights and whatever other creatures Godrick had put together, just trying to get to the next grace. And eventually I did. After a few mishaps and contraptions, I finally found him. I show up to the boss door, the fog thins, and I walk through, and I see none other than this hulking, grotesque monster.
Mighty dragon, thou the true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. Alone tarnished. Plain as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
He was supposed to be this next wall to slam into, I thought, but something changed when I fought him. He was powerful, sure, but when I reached his second phase, I kind of felt sorry for him. Like he was this big, desperate character. He wasn't just some monster. He was somebody who had a story. And when I did finally defeat him, I didn't feel triumphant, really. I kind of felt sad for him and just in general. It's weird that the game makes you want to cry. And then I saw the guy stomping on his body afterwards. He was talking about how much he had hated him. And I thought, I must have missed something here. Was there more to this story than I realized? You know, I kind of wish I listened to what he said. At first, I thought this game was about surviving impossible bosses. Kind of just a Shadow of the Colossus type game where you just get to the next boss and you fight them and then you move on. But now my curiosity was piqued. It felt like the world was saying something to me, something that I didn't yet understand. And I hadn't done much exploring up to that point because it was kind of a challenge run for me. I had just been boss rushing. But after the Godrick fight, I stepped out onto the cliff of Liurnia and I saw this massive, unreal landscape. Oh shit. That's crazy. Bro, all that is playable area? Damn. And I started feeling it. The world wasn't just a backdrop, it was telling a story that I needed to know more about. So I went back. My first time here, I had torn through Stormvale so fast that I didn't actually see it for what it was. I started exploring the hidden corners and reading item descriptions and kind of taking a closer look at what the people of the castle actually looked like. And I could tell that it wasn't just some stronghold, it was like a graveyard of Godrick's ambitions. It felt like the people there weren't just deadly, they were tragic. Like they were victims of Godrick's obsession with being powerful and just not quite being able to accomplish that. And it's funny, the castle kind of resembled Godrick, something that I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't fought Godrick first. It was all twisted and disfigured and kind of seemed like a perfect representation of his history of failure. And I think that was the moment. It was the culmination of all the things leading up to that point that a flip had switched in my brain. And I wanted to know more. When I wasn't playing, I was watching lore videos. And when I wasn't watching lore videos, I was thinking about what more was there? How much of this world could actually be explored? What did I miss so far? I was hooked. Elden Ring wasn't just hard, it was layered, it was smart, it was dark, and it was more than what I had expected. So now I'm gonna keep going. I'm probably gonna finish Elden Ring, and then I'm gonna move on to the next, and then the next, and the next, until I can finally get to Sekiro, which was kind of the thing that sparked this whole journey for me. And now, in addition to loving that feeling of victory that I once thought was maybe kind of shallow, I want to know how the story ends as well. So yeah, I'm here and I get it now, and it was Elden Ring that changed my mind. So if you want to see how far I make it and you want to join my journey live, I stream every Tuesday, sometimes more, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok if you're on any of those. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And let me know in the comments below which boss or game changed your mind. I'm going to get back to looking at lore videos.